Thank you for joining us here at the Bill Hunter Arena in the west end of Edmonton. Today we have a game between the Capital Region Saints and the Senior Drillers here today, and it is the Ashton Parsons Memorial game here today, and we're celebrating his life here at the game. There's a barbecue after the contest, Ashton-themed coloring table, Father's Day card making, 50/50 silent auction, outdoor Jenga, cornhole. Tons of action here today to celebrate a man who gave so much to the game of lacrosse, to the teams meeting in the middle. Give a cheers and a bit of celebration of life before we get going in the contest here today. Ashton Parsons was an assistant coach for the Saints. He was known as a kind soul. He never failed to get a laugh out of anybody and was always there when you needed him the most. And he did pass August 19th, 2024 in a workplace incident. He was 27 years old and gave so much to the game of lacrosse. He had the motto of work hard, play harder, being the last one awake to close out a party with one last game of beer pong. He was also very quick-witted by those who knew him. He introduced himself as Ashton, like Kutcher, but better looking. And speaking with the head coach of the Saints, Sean Wilhelm, who used to coach Ashton when he was a young kid at 15 before also playing with him on the senior team. He told me before the game when I was talking to him about the Saints and the season so far and the day that we're celebrating here today, and he said that I can quote this: "If you didn't like Ashton, it was your problem." No better way to celebrate a man who gave so much to the game of lacrosse and to have a lacrosse game here today. Thank you so much for joining us here on CROW LAX TV. More of a ceremonial face-off. And the photo up here as well for both of the teams at center. Job against Plazzolani. Both of Ashton's parents for the ceremonial puck drop sporting their son's jersey. The Warriors tarp, as well as the orange and white tarp as well. Parsons sporting number 9 on that, or number 1, sorry, on that minors squad. So we do have first period action. My name is Zachary Kubish, and we'll get underway with the game here today. Saints against the Drillers. The only time that these two teams played against each other was a 12-4 victory for the Saints. And all 4 goals scored by Rylan Hills from the Drillers here. A quick power move by Balarsik as she fires on. Save made in the crease. Number 31, Megan Maxwell. She swallows up another one, caught up in the pad, but the time was not running. We're still at 20 minutes, so we'll just end up running down some clock. And in the standings here for both teams, the Drillers are 2-4 in the senior division. They're 2-1 in their last 3. 1-game winning streak in their last 3 games. Saw them on May 24th up against the Cougars. They won 5-4 on June 4th. They took on the Titans, losing 5-4. Before on the 11th, taking a 9-1 decision over the junior Drillers. For the Saints, they are on a 2-game slide. On the 7th, they lost 14-3 against the Silvertips. And on the 8th, they lost 16-3 against the Cardinals. So play gets back underway. 9:20 on the clock, and down the Saints make a play up to the middle. Standing up there is number 24, Anderson. Anderson across, trying to feed that pass. On the other side of the floor, going back against the grain. That one's no good. It's Boulerice. Boulerice with the dish out. Holding up against the pressure. Now up the other way is Dunkley. Hard to see through the long hair. Craik there to try and meet it in the corner. But the Drillers are able to get it up before Nixon slammed to the board. She gets back into the battle. It gets thrown up and out of play for a moment, hitting the netting. Nixon handing over possession to the Saints. So Layla Jaber back across, top of the zone. Dunkley wiring one through. That whips wide. Dribbles up back to the near side corner. Racing that one is Van Beers. She wheels it behind her own net. Is pressured heavily by Kalbick. But she gains a foot and a step. Streaking down that right side. Van Beers with the shot on. 00 Amelia Stewart with the save. They'll keep possession in the offensive zone. It's Isabella Hobbins. Hobbins to Hobbins. Match back in front. Swings by Logan. All the way back now. In by herself. Balaam. Didn't get the great opportunity on there, but still the chance was there nonetheless. Carlisle for Logan with the back step. Ends up clearing that one all the way down the floor. Jaber was there to meet it, but Stewart decides to pick it up. Returns the favor back to Jaber. Over the midway point of the floor, she wires one to the far side corner. That bounces high. They take it in the head of the stick of Hogan. Hogan dropping the shoulder protection, trying to send that across, and Dunkley on the back step. Defensive maneuver to have it deflect off her stick. Because it did deflect off the stick of the Saints. The Drillers wants to take hold. Addie Hobbins, number 13, Priest. Priest to the top, back to Hobbins, and she scores! Addie Hobbins, the first on the board. It'll be 1-0 Drillers, and they were held scoreless in the first matchup against the Saints. They're outscored 4-1 in that first period when they last played. They did play that game April 30th, so it was a second game for the Saints in their season, the opener for the senior Drillers. Playing 3 times this season. Number 9, Hills, who had all 4 goals in the last contest. These two teams matched up. She lost that, and in support it was Priest. Priest gets it back to Hills, Rylan Hills. Priest waits up, surveys for Hills, she shoots. I believe Stewart got a piece of that. Now they continue to hold. Slowly, Priest swings it down back to the corner, turning away from pressure is Hills. Hills dishing off. Priest once again picking up. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. Priest high pass. Boulerice unloading. The over and back handed to the Saints. We appreciate your viewership here today. Ashen Parsons Memorial Game here from Bill Hunter. Saints and senior Drillers going at it. Power move by Balarczyk. She shoots, just couldn't get it on the cage. Trying to go over top of Maxwell. So the Drillers have it once again. Nixon all alone. Tries to scamper over the midway point. She's walled off. It'll be the Saints to pick it up. Dunkley streaking around the net. Slows down. Hands it to the top of the zone. The bobble's up. Free ball. Another shot there, Job. Denial. Maxwell. Maxwell with the high dish out that goes all the way down the floor. The high bounce stays in play off the glass. Balaam is the one to receive that one, gaining possession for the Saints. Couple poke checks from the Drillers. Hard hit Van Beers trying to steer her opposition to the corner. So now race for the loose ball. Hills in the fight once again. Number 6, Van Beers there as well. Stick gets thrown down. Drillers to take hold. So good defense by the Drillers to get another possession with the ball. Priest the one to take it. She connects the dots over to Hogan. Hogan trying to sneak in, and she unloads. High glass bounce. A move from Priest, and she almost fed it on that far side. So in the recovery, all the way down, Dunkley in all alone, shoots and scores. Dunkley tying the game at 1 apiece. 13:34 left to go, and after she ripped that one home, she seemed to have some discomfort in her wrist, taking off her glove, shaking her wrist after that one, but on the marker there, it seemed fine to tie it. Here, 1-1 in the game. Tie contest just far, just under 7 minutes into play. Quickly now, it's Craik. Craik across, feed through, back to the net. Jaber stood up by Maxwell. Into the hands of number 2, Beth Langstrom. Langstrom, far pass. Up through to Addie Hobbins. Hobbins now to Hills, who rips one off the bar. Hobbins, the one to retrieve that one. Jaber trying to swipe at it, and the sword fight is picked up by Allie Hobbins. Hobbins with the pass backwards. Langstrom couldn't hold on that one, so it's Craik to take up for the Saints. Soft dish off to Dunkley, goal in the game. Hope Dunkley had 6 points last time these two teams played, 2 goals and 4 assists. Another retrieval, Job unloading as well. Maxwell with the deflection to the corner. Board battle commences. Nixon with Hope. Jaber. Brenna Job. Brenna Job, number 66, giving a quick cross check to Chloe Stewart. Though they can't maintain, and it's handed back up with Priest, and the dish no good from Logan. Cross-checking is Moliere. Markham to take that one. Looks like butt end of the stick fell off the top grip. The shaft back in the end. Amelia Stewart picking that piece of debris up, though. Play made by number 13 for the Saints. Not exactly sure who that is on the floor, though. A great play. Hogan. All the way up for Langstrom. High bounce, nearly coming to Isabella Hobbins. It's Hogan now. Rush towards the net, but the foot's in the crease. Good charge to the hole from number 7, Hogan. Capital City regains. Layla Jaber. Full possession. Back step trying to find Dunkley. No reception on that pass. But it's forced out. Kolbick. Kolbeck back for Jaber. Couldn't stretch to keep that in her grasp. Stays in play. Back in front, Kolbeck. She takes a spill. Foot in the crease. High pass made out by Ballerise to the corner. Hill is trying to chase that one. Play flip-flops once again. Chloe Stewart taking control. Stewart hands it to by Larsick. Now it's Dunkley trying to make something work. By Larsick with the cross pass. Celia Job. Off the wall. Shoots, blocked. Bounces up Maxwell. 2 hold. So Maxwell, dish out. Hogan. Hogan, quick feed. Just sneaking by Moliere. Near side of the floor, Dunkley. Back up through to the middle. Fake pass. Hard shot down low. Fighting for it now. Now charging back the other way. Brenda Job. All the way left side. Sneaks back up the floor. Addie Hobbins. Hobbins with pressure on her back. Turns away from the play. Hobbins with a quick feed. Hills, and she gets denied. Amelia Stewart once again. So quickly now. Belair sick. With the feed over through to Balaam. Balaam gets that ball stripped away from her. It's Langstrom. Langstrom with Balaam on the poke check. Diversion out to Van Beers. So Van Beers forced out to the perimeter. Still has hold of the ball. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Hands it to Priest. Priest now wanted to hold. Hard whipping shot. That's no good. Bouncer off the floor from Carlisle. Back to Priest, just through her stick, and we'll have our first immediate timeout of the contest. And I'd like to remind you that the Battle of the Border is back this September in Missoula, Montana. You can tour the beautiful University of Montana campus, learn all about the Grizz LAX program, and full ride scholarships available for Canadians, all while taking part in the annual North versus South Box Lacrosse Tournament. Learn more by following Battle of the Border LAX on Instagram. Check, check, check. So the Saints from their own end take hold with Kolbeck, the quarterback on the play. By Larsick. Pass across. Dunkley in front. With Kolbeck, Dunkley, as well as Job on the play. Dunkley, power move. Denial right side, Maxwell. Now from that, Job trying to insert herself in the scrum, though. Celia Job on the backtrack. Hogan's the one to stop up here. It's given away to Jaber. Jaber with some speed. Turning on the afterburner, shoots down low. Maxwell kicking it out. It's a hard rebound all the way up. Pass attempt did go off the shoulder of Maxwell, standing tall in the crease. From that, it's Howard. Or Langstrom. Langstrom to 77, Hobbins. Isabella Hobbins handing off to Carlisle. Carlisle over to Bolaris. Now the play winds up to the hands of the Saints. Anderson a little bit hesitant to make the play. She makes a proper one, getting it out to by Larsick. Play filtered around the zone. Waiting up, Dunkley. Dunkley swinging shot. Maxwell holds. Boulerice all the way down, trying to get 44 Moliere. High bounce Moliere was in the crease, almost had a chance at that. She sticked that up. The penalty call on the play, it will be a interference in front. So trying to get the stick up to challenge Amelia Stewart in the crease. 2-minute power play handed to the Saints. Moliere not happy, shaking her head all the way to the box. So first power play opportunity here in the game for either side. The Saints were 4 for 7 on the power play last time these two teams played. Sealy Job. Jaber, they play catch. Job trying to find something through the screen. Bilarczyk. It's not Jaber, that's Bilarczyk. There's Job. Bilarczyk, low shot, kicked near side corner. Maxwell picked that up is Kolbeck, top of the zone. Job handed around to Craik. Craik gets it back. Job waiting. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Tried to fire it through, swallowed the head of the stick of Brenna Job. Job all the way to the outside, pressured heavily by Craik on the backtrack. Celia Job there as well. Amelia Stewart, handoff for Kolbeck. Kolbeck forked back to Dunkley. Slows down the shot, handed the pass through. Dish back, up to Kolbeck. Dunkley, not much time to work with, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Roberts, back to Dunkley, who shoots, doesn't hit the cage. Just 30 seconds left in the penalty to Moliere. Priest, over the halfway point, finds Hills. Hills with a move off the bar. Trudging back up the floor, it's Dunkley. Dunkley gets it once again. Cross there, low shot. Craik trying to bounce it off the floor. Just 2 seconds now, 5 on 5. Continues some issues trying to get out of the penalty box. Though she does, Moliere trying to streak up the floor. Be the open player, and it's Langstrom getting draped over Dunkley. Hard spill down Langstrom. Great evasion. She gets it back from Boulerice. Low shot thrown, Langstrom. So Dunkley filtering back through to Kolbeck. Kolbeck on the step back. Now from the bench, hard, heavy shot. Skipping by Jaber, and now back up the floor. It's Danny Logan. Danny Logan with the pink shoes. Attempts to find Hobbins. It's Hills. Back to Moliere. Moliere handing to Priest. Trying to get it to Hobbins. She bobbles that. Hard cross checks to the back from Carvalho. One last play in front, maybe a shot on, and it gets there. Now number 6 on the doorstep, Van Beers fighting hard. Shot clock renewed, Van Beers. The only player in the fight scrounges it up to the hands of Hills. Hills to Hobbins, good pressure here from the Drillers. Another bobble, the possible streaking play. Burmeister picking it up to take it out, change much needed for the Saints. So now it's Moliere taking down Dunkley, stealing the ball away from her. Spin move, stops up for Isabel Hobbins. Now she gets it back. Up in the post. Fed across, hard shot Stewart blocked it. Thought she had it for a moment, though it deflects to the corner. With it is Kolbick. Kolbick skipping up the way, right side, handing off. Good pickoff by Hogan. Now she charges back up the floor. So it's Hogan, 2-on-1 here for the Drillers. Hogan gets it back on the top of the crease. Doesn't take the shot, taking just a second extra. The Saints sticking that one aside. The Saints transition, couldn't take it up the floor. Hills now for Boulerice, and they score! Rylan Hills with the marker regains the lead for the Drillers, 2-1. Rylan Hills in the 12-4 loss in the first matchup against the Saints this season on the 30th of April. Had all 4 goals for the Drillers. She gets back on the board, back on the score sheet in this one. It's over a minute to go here in this first frame from Bill Hunter. Scooping play, Job might have a break. That she does, Job shoots. Left hand save, Maxwell. And through the trenches, Van Beers is putting him a rigmarole. They get it out, Priest trying to slingshot. Chance low side, far under the net. It's Hills to Hobbins, back in front. Hills, quick chance. Bounces off from Stewart in behind the net. It's handed out. Saints back up the floor. Belarsic to Dunkley. Dunkley had a chance, took the space and stepped in, missed the net with Logan. Another one to bring it up. Hard cross check, Dunkley battling heavily. She's able to ground it out to Belarsic. So one last opportunity on that, it doesn't matter. Buzzer already went, and the Saints find themselves down 2-1 entering the second period here against the Drillers here in this matchup. I'm Zachary Kubish. Thank you so much for tuning in here on CROW LAX. We'll take a brief intermission and be back with more action. Thank you for tuning in here on CROW LAX TV. My name is Zachary Kubish. We're live here from the Bill Hunt Arena in the west end of Edmonton. It's a Drillers Saints matchup. Here today, the Drillers taking a 2-1 lead after 20 minutes. And in that first game that they played this season, April 30th, the opener for the Drillers, they were hit with a 12-4 loss, and all four of those goals in that April 30th match came from number 9, Rylan Hills. She has a goal on the day. And Hope Dunkley for the Saints. So it will be Malaire against Belarsic for second period draw. 2-1 Drillers lead. Action in the second period getting underway, and quickly it's Craik with the handoff, trying to find Jaber. Craik to meet her own deflected pass in the corner. Quick shot thrown wide. Balaam dribbles all the way down the half point of the floor in possession, handed back over. So 00 Amelia Stewart playing that out to number 6 Van Beers, who starts the play up for the Drillers. Over across Hills. Pass to the left side. The dotted lines. Now Jaber has an opportunity. She goes in all alone. Jaber shoots off the post. All the way back down the floor once again. Ballerise. Brockhuck. Be the one to pick it up in her own crease. She waited for that one to be played out in front of the goaltender. Then it's Balaam trying to find Kolbeck. Found Jaber. Tried to get it to Kolbeck, sorry. Now it's Ballerise. Ballerise push back. She underscoops it back to the zone. They keep it in. Isabel Hobbins with Addie Hobbins, 55 and 44. Moliere, one-hander. The top of the net. Back off the high glass. So it's left side, 13, Keely Blanchette, who draws in for this match. Craik, the purple Nikes. Got it to 24, Anderson, who thought she had it in her grasp, but now it's Hogan. Back the other way quickly. Belarsic throwing her down. Though Hogan got the opportunity. Van Beers with the slam down. Jaber. And they score on the diving play. Didn't even see where the ball went. But it's 3-1 for the Drillers. Kayla Hogan. Moliere will dig in against Sam Kolbeck. It's Moliere. The mismatch Sues. Pink and blue. Moliere waiting, passing. Jaber feeds through to Balaam. Balaam back scoots. The arching play out to the corner. It's Craik. Bouncer out, Langstrom. Langstrom picks up. She's in all alone with Job. Though Amelia Stewart is the one to take it. Hope Dunkley now. Has a goal in the game. Had 2 goals and 4 assists in the previous matchup. 12-4 victory for Capital Region. It was Jaber throwing that one through. Jaber with a hat trick in the previous game. 3-1 Saints. Played to Blanchette. They get it through on the cage. Maxwell to hold off for Nixon. Nixon steps back from some pressure. Poke check there. It's picked up by Jaber. She takes a hit down to the floor, but keeps possession. So the aggression pays off, keeping possession. Dunkley swiping play, Belarsic. Belarsic turning, evading pressure. Twisting one through. It's no good. She turns back. Belarsic still there, has some support. Belarsic shoots and scores. Had the ball almost the whole time on that possession. But Dunkley handing it off to have Belarsic wheel around the zone, and though she might be the one to get credit for the goal, her team doing a good job to help her find some space. 3-2, 1 goal difference in the lead. So back at the center of the floor, it'll be Craig matching up with Van Beers against the wall. With Job the one to scoop it out. Work it back up. Job given to Balaam. Off his shoulder, Van Beers to pick it up. Van Beers one-hander. Swings to the boards. Gets it to Brenna Job. But Stewart keeps it. Almost a misplay. Dribbles out. Play right in front. She capitalizes. Addie Hobbins not holding up. Had her stick up in the air when Stewart tried to make the play out. Collapsing from in front of the crease, regaining that 2-goal lead. And Stewart isn't too pleased with that misplay. Not many times that Amelia Stewart makes a mistake like that, but her team giving props to their goaltender with the stick taps against the pads. So they still have tons of time to get themselves back even in the fold. So one-on-one battle looks like Isabel Hobbins, actually 2-on-1. Hills from off the bench. Though opting to take the shot was Hobbins. Now it's Dunkley left side, retrieving from Jaber. Dunkley, bit of a crisscross. Works it out to the middle. Belarsic. Back over, and that's number 13, Blanchette. So the ball kept. So Jaber to Belarsic. Twisting hit. Body slammed down. In some discomfort, she'll head off to the bench. I believe that was Erickson. A holding call will be taken on the play. And correction, was not number 17 Erickson, it's number 13 Blanchette. Came off with some discomfort, holding the stick call out to Beth Langstrom. So second power play opportunity for the Saints. They had 7 given out from the Drillers the first date they had in the season. Drillers already matching that goal total they had in that contest with 4. But it was an 8-goal differential in that one. Right now it's 2. And it's cut down to 1. Jaber. So Jaber had a hat trick in the last game as well. She gets back on the score sheet, and she's no stranger to that. That's her 53rd point, 27th goal. Good for second in the major female division. Kate Hallcrow holding that with 29. So Jaber now the first on her team. Belarsic also has 26, so 27 for Jaber. Moliere across. Couldn't slide that shot through. with Logan there. Good positioning. It's Priest taking a minute to get up. She hobbles off the floor, number 13 for the Drillers. Quick change out. They had possession, though, near the end of the shot clock. Jaber is able to take it back up the floor for Craik. Hogan holding, the official in the way just a little bit. I'd imagine it's really hard to try and find some open space as an official down there on the floor. 5-on-5. 10 runners on the floor, constant changing. Just got to keep your eyes open like everybody else to try and stay out of the play. With it is Dunkley, away from the ball. Is Blanchette getting hauled down to the floor. All the way back is Dunkley. As her team sets up, she takes a moment to scamper up the way. Dunkley with the hold up. Van Beers to the middle. Craik trying to twist that one through. That she does. Maxwell off of her, up to Job. Brenna Job. The pass attempt to Van Beers. She has to get back. Erickson from the wall to Jaber. Erickson off for the change. Anderson out on the floor. Jaber fake shot pass. Belarsic. They play catch and through the stick. Jaber swung one through, challenging her. Was it Ray and Jaber? Little Stewart. Holds to the corner. Moliere in front off the post. Moliere trying to two-touch that one. She takes a second to get off the bench, or get off the floor to the bench. Few players now in the second taking a bit of bruises and a bit of a hooking there. Fishing out of that is Jaber. Swims out. Craik with the flow pass. Her grasp. She unloads. Going wide on that left side. So shot clock drained after 30 seconds. Nixon. For 78, Logan. Danny Logan. Bolleries. For number 9, and she scores. Hills. Another marker in the game. 5-3 now for the Drillers in the game. Second goal of the contest for her. Four goals on the 30th in a 12-4 loss against the Saints. So digging in on that one was Belarsic against Moliere. Moliere pushing her back. Back the other way is Paula Lunny. Apologies on that one. Paula Lusney. So Hobbins with the shot on. We will have her second media timeout of the game, and I'd like to remind you that the Battle of the Border is back. This September in beautiful Montana, tour the beautiful University of Montana campus. Learning about the Grizz LAX program and full ride scholarships available for Canadians, all while taking a part in the annual North versus South box lacrosse tournament. Learn more by following Battle of the Border LAX on Instagram. So the Saints having the ball once again. Blanchette out on the floor, but it's dished back to Jaber. Jaber, the pass through. Hard shot, the backboard. With Brenna Job muscling it out over the floor, over the halfway point. The floor, Stewart behind her own net. Throw off the ground, Balaam against her opposing number 21, Ryan Jaber. Ryan Jaber passing off. It's Hills. 2 goals in the game with Hills dishing off to Job. Job gets one on the net. Far side corner. Hills once again from the scrum, shoots and scores! Rylan Hills with the hat trick. Extending it 6-3 for the Drillers. So Belarsic and Moliere digging in, doubling up the Saints or the Drillers 6-3. Dunkley powering on that right side. Takes it behind the net. From in front, chance. Job. Belarsic now floored out to Dunkley. Dunkley to Belarsic. Trying to find it through all the bodies. Maxwell shutting her down. So high pass, bounce out. Hits the glass, scooped up, number 6, Van Beers. Van Beers spinning, shoots, bounces off the floor, and winds up in the netting. Dunkley through to Jaber. Jaber stepping back. Dunkley almost taking hold of the ball, though it's Goaler. Goaler hard pass out. Blanchette, not sure where it is, and now it's Hogan. Hogan 2-on-1. Open man, shoots. Goaler Reese. Stewart blocking that. With it is Hogan to Bowler-Reese. Bowler-Reese, soft pass in front to Hills. Hogan from behind her net. The opposing net. Hogan to Bowler-Reese. Shot through Stewart, didn't see that. Comes out, another shot right on Hobbins. It's fought out by the Saints. So Jaber the one to scoop it up first to the ball. Jaber all alone. Had the chance towards the net. It was stick down. Belarsic up to Dunkley. Dunkley waits. Fed through to Craig. Craig trying to find an open lane. Gets it to Dunkley, but the shot clock expires. So it'll be Saints penalty to Dunkley for delay of game. First power play in the contest for the Drillers, so they can extend the lead up to 4 if they capitalize here on the minor delay of game penalty against Dunkley as they'll set up, sending around the perimeter. Bowler-Reese gets it back, had one on. Stewart was there. Now from the corner, Langstrom in front, shoots and scores! So Addie Hobbins, impactful in the game thus far and makes quick work of the power play. 7-3 for the Drillers, 5:20 to go. So Sam Kolbick take the draw against Moliere. From the scrum, it's sticked out. Moliere can't pick it up. Protects it along the board, stapled to the half wall, and quickly it's Kolbick. Kolbick back for Balaam. Bouncer, high riser as well. For Craig, finding the mesh of Jaber. Heater through, blocked away Maxwell. That is Logan, then it's Kolbick. Kolbick skipping to the middle. Jaber trying to find a spot down low. 5-hole. Dunkley. Dunkley fake move. Shot on. Might have kissed the outside of the post. Craig waits to play of Dunkley to get open. Finds her. Jaber there as well as Dunkley tries to maneuver on the inside. Jaber changing spots with her, with Dunkley controlling. Dunkley protecting right side. Skipper through. She has to call back to keep that over. Dunkley pass. Cross. Ryan Jaber almost picking that one off. So the over and back awarded for the Drillers. It's Priest for Addie Hobbins. Now Hills. Right shoulder saves Stewart. With Hobbins. Hobbins off the floor. Back to Addie Hobbins. Couldn't get that shot. Onto the cage. Dunkley, some footwork to gain a step. Blanchette now. Blanchette through to Craik. With Dunkley. Dunkley getting checked, stick to side. Dunkley still throwing it there on top of the crease. Blanchette. She was right there. So Buller East. No chance here. Around the net, Langstrom. 10 seconds to go. Gonna make the play, Van Beers. 2:40 left in the period. So it's Mulholland. Mulholland out. Jaber from Balaam. Jaber, Belairsic. Dancing through. Swings it back. Shot blocked, Job. Hogan back up, wins the stick battle. She takes it in all alone, shoots and scores. Kayla Hogan. Defensive effort to block the pass through. Takes it in all alone. Finding the back of the net, 8-3. So they'll send Kolbick. Moliere. Have a bit of a chat, but the Saints will take a timeout. And today I'd like to mention that we are celebrating the life of Ashton Parsons here at the game from Bill Hunter today. Tons of people in the stands, and we have a 50-50 as well as a silent auction going on for various Milwaukee tools. And after the fact, there'll be a barbecue at 5:45 after the contest. There's coloring table as well, Father's Day card making, outdoor Jenga cornholes, and tons of activities to celebrate a man who gave so much to the game of lacrosse. And if you haven't already, please give us a follow. We're trying to grow the sport and grow the coverage of such a great game. Just hit that subscribe button and you'll see every time we go live. We always have tons of action here on CROW LAX TV. So quickly, it's Kolbick. Kolbick swiping move. Now getting held for a moment is Jaber with the pass out to Hobbins. Hobbins, quick pass in front, down low. Priest going wide. Hills maintains. Hobbins forward pressure. Stewart, defensive pass out and hits the netting. So the Drillers hand off again. Priest behind the back. Pops up for anybody. Logan's the first to get it. Stewart again. Tried to filter through. Hits the same side of the net. Earlier in the game, it was Stewart with the misplay in front. So maybe she's a bit cautious to try and pass it out as the Drillers capitalize. So they try and create some more offense here. But on the step up, it's Balaam, and she can't get a free step. Stewart taken out to the wall. So Jaber for Craik. Craik turning around. Craik quick play in front. That's Balaam. Balaam with some great chances in the game. Goaler. Nixon. Handed off. Or she has it, sorry. Erickson pressured. Stewart. The one back. But that's the end of 40 minutes here from Bill Hunter. 8-3 is the score. Drillers leading over the Saints here on the road. I'm Zachary Kubish. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to the Bill Hunter Arena. I'm Zachary Kubish, live here on CROW LAX TV after 40 minutes between the Saints and the Drillers. It's 8-3 for the Drillers. The one and only time these two teams met, April 30th this season. It was 12-4 for the Saints. And in the game, scoring for the Drillers, 2 hat tricks. Addie Hobbins, number 55, and number 9, Rylan Hills, scoring a hat trick. Hills scored 4 goals in the game on April 30th. Van Beers also has a goal. Hogan with a marker as well. Langstrom with 2 assists. Bolaris with 2 apples as well. But just 20 minutes left to go. From the draw, Blairsick tries to scoop it up. She gets stripped down to the floor. Craig to take hold. Craig does. Quick step up. Takes a shot. Blocked away. Maxwell. Craig to survey. Out to Jaber. Who has a goal in the game as well. She had a hat trick the last time these two teams met. Forced out to the wall. Brought up by Brenna Job. To the hands of Priest with an assist as well. Priest trying to dish it to Hobbins. Addie Hobbins to Rylan Hills. Hills the dish. Now Robbins with it. Protects Hobbins. Trying to storm her way to the net. Hobbins has to take a shot, just 3 seconds. No shot chance there. Moliere in front. Can't hold on. So Dunkley. Dunkley with a goal. Dunkley 6 points. April 30th. Blairsick. Blairsick with some help. Has a step. Door closes. Dunkley. Dunkley, quick up. Swiping through, poke checked away. Craig to the corner, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Blairsick. One last ditch effort, perhaps, to get a shot through. So it's Hogan to Logan. Over to Nixon. Logan trying to step back up. Vegan out on the floor. With it is Isabel Hobbins. With Nixon. There, Erickson. Slammed to the floor. Comes close to Stewart. But it's Erickson. They got to get it up the floor. Too much hesitation. Turnover on possession. So Bolaris. Through to Hobbins. Hobbins passed down. Erickson tip far corner. Dunkley. Dunkley from behind the goal line. Sees Erickson, gets it to her. Erickson waits up for Dunkley, but just behind the line. We'll give the ball back to the Drillers. Now 13 cutting in, shoots and scores. Taylor Priest holding that long reception. Nice hands. Tight in front of the net. 6-goal lead, 9-3 Drillers. Moliere back out again against Kolbick. Kolbick picks it out as it's fished to Job. Celia Job. For Craik. Changes spots with Jaber. Jaber from the floor to Kolbick. Kolbick follows that one. That ends up behind the net. Each team fighting to pick it up. Jaber had it for a moment. Dunkley from off the bench. Fresh legs. Nearly finds Kolbick. That ends up on the far side corner. With the wrap the dead balls blown down, played up now. Over the halfway point, Hills, sorry. So Dunkley pressured behind Langstrom, hands it off. Craik, hard shot. Jaber scores. Maxwell didn't see where that shot was coming from. Jaber, lightning fast strikes back and takes the deficit for the Saints down back to 5. So exactly 16 minutes left to go. Please follow us on all social media if you haven't already. X, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We have highlights of the game and all the updates you need to know about the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League. There's Sick taking her time with the patience. Nearly picked off. Celia Job now has it from the recovery. Hard sticking move down by Brenna Job. Callback there as well as Craik. Craik left side. 5 seconds in the shot clock. Dunkley defers. Jaber shooting. Goes off the mask of Moliere. Jaber taking a hard hit to the head from Brenna Job. Jaber in some frustration, trying to go back against Moliere. Jaber now all alone in front, can't collect the pass. Moliere striking down with the axe. Backhand feed flipped out to Priest. So comes up. And it'll be McKenna Boot. Takes the crease. The goaltender change was made by the Saints that I didn't catch earlier. Stewart playing the first 2 periods of action. Isabel Hobbins. For Bolaris. Now it's picked off. Up the way now. Blanchette. Move on the inside. No foot in the crease. Had the high or low bouncer come up high. Bolaris. Whistled out of the zone. Beelum up to Dunkley. Holds, keeps it, protects. Back around the cage. Fed out Belairsic, low swinger. Grounded out. Bolaris fighting. As well as Brenna Job there. Scooped up to the hands of Nixon, and she gets going. Nixon one-on-one, cuts on the inside, gets hit on the outside. Both players taking a spill. Nixon not too happy, takes a hard whack at the shins of her opponent. Will be a delayed penalty. Quickly it was. Boat trying to head back to the bench. And Alicia Bolaris, 2 minutes for slashing. I think that was Brockhuck she got into a scuffle with, but just on the defensive play, Dunkley came out as well on that chance, and some frustration results in a Saints power play. So 9-4, 5-goal deficit, still time to work with, 13:26 left to go. Jaber trying to find that marker once again. Jaber with 2 goals in the game now. Quickly they have to make a play. Joe bounces out. Kolbeck. 5 seconds left in the shot clock. Comes to Job. Job shooting. Swallowed up in the grasp of Goller. Goller. All alone. Ragging some time. Kicks it to the boards. Kolbeck to take it. Jaber in front. Jaber nearly on the back side of her stick to pick that up. Still couldn't hold, though it is Craik. Saints slow change. Dunkley awaits. Dunkley opposite shoot. Nearly hits the net. Craik to Belairsic. Belairsic off the crest of Maxwell. Now they giddy up with Hills, and her stick's thrown out of her hand. Hogan on the backtrack, no stick for Hills. She couldn't intercept that. And it's Boat to take hold with Balaam. Balaam to Dunkley. 12:01 to go. Just over 20 seconds in the power play for the Saints. Blarisic punches it. Hands to Dunkley. Dunkley shifts across. Kolbick passed through off of Langstrom. And now we have Hogan. Hogan trying to outrace Dunkley. Bobbles the ball to the corner. Picks it up. Hogan, couple slashes against from Dunkley. Hogan, as her team makes a change, she works it up the zone. So Hogan, 5-on-5 now, good kill. Fake shot, Priest in the crease, shoots. I guess just outside of the crease, no call back on that one. Great chance, so what a move. Now it's Jaber. Jaber, quick feed in front off the corner post. Blanchette with that rush. So it's Carlisle. Carlisle with Isabel Hobbins. They're against her. Delano as well with Sealy Job. Job hand back. Blarisic. Blarisic high pass picked up by Ryan Jaber. Jaber, fake move, spinning chance, and she scores! From the top of the dotted line, spinning move. She gets a 10th goal for the Drillers in the contest. Pretty play from the Drillers' end of things. Doing that all by herself. Ryan Jaber, 21. Now it's Van Beers. You try and work it out in front. It will be Balaam. Balaam, quick fake step to the outside, moves outside. Blanchette. Corner move. Crake. Kolbick steps out. Kolbick down low. It's kept out. Danny Logan. Underhand scoop to 77, Isabel Hobbins. Addie Hobbins on the floor as well. She maintains. Hobbins to Bollaris. Swing and a miss for her. Addie Hobbins nearly had the control. Open bench. Bounces to the open door, and we will get a stoppage in play. 9:18 to go. It's 10-4 for the Drillers against the Saints here from Bill Hunter Arena. And the Battle of the Border is back this September in Missoula, Montana. Tour the beautiful University of Montana campus. Learn about the Grizz LAX program, and full ride scholarships for Canadians, all while taking part in the annual North versus South Box Lacrosse Tournament. You can learn more about that at Battle of the Border LAX on Instagram. You can also follow CROW LAX TV on any social media platform, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and X, with updates on scores, the highlights, like the one we saw from Ryan Jaber a few minutes ago, and many more throughout all the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League. So play started once again. Van Beers with the Drillers draped in the gold. To Addie Hobbins with Hills out in front, trying to nose her way through. Hills with the pickup, draw back. Drops it down, and Dunkley takes it. Dunkley against Langstrom. Dunkley shoots and scores. So 10-5. It's a 5-goal deficit Now for the Saints, 8:50 to go. Some lethal offensive talent on that team, though the Drillers playing some great defense here in the contest today. And also finding tons of offense, 10 goals for them. So it's the Saints down 10-5. Hogan for the Drillers, stick to side, Crake. But they will call a holding call on the back side of the play, the referees. It's a 2-minute holding up against Blairsick, who has a conversation with the referee, is a bit upset about the call. Her team just getting back on the board, and she'll go sit for 2. So player up advantage, 8:39 to go, 2 minutes for holding against number 12, Avery Blairsick. Langstrom for number 3, Bulleris to number 6, Van Beers. Almost falling down, makes a play to Dunkley out. Past Van Beers is Dunkley. Trail back, Jaber. Off the ground, and she scores! 10-6, shorthanded goal. Just 4 more to go for the Saints to tie up the action. And the Drillers playing defensively, trying to play the body of Dunkley. Didn't see Jaber coming off the bench, and she sits back as a trailer to hold the ball. She has at least 3 in the game now. Now also with 3, it's Hills. Hills with the answer back. So now in 2 games against the Saints, 8 goals, 4 goals in each game. And they will continue 5-on-5. So both special teams capitalizing in the same power play, shorthander, and just about 20 or so seconds later, the Drillers answering back. So now it's Crake with Dunkley. Pass in front. Jaber the other opportunity. With Crake once again. Crake hand back to Dunkley. Jaber dropping the shoulder, trying to be the open stick in front. It eventually comes back to Jaber. Swing and a miss for her. Pass from Kolbeck. Now it's kicked out behind the goal line. Crake was there with it. So from their own end, the Drillers had it given away. Jaber from behind the net. Wraparound play. It's Maxwell. High pass out to Priest. Kicked out behind the net. Hands up for Dunkley with Hobbins there, and she takes a huge hit against the boards. There will be a call. Hope Dunkley head off for 2 minutes. And another power play opportunity for the Drillers. The Bulleris will be the one to start with it. 6:32 to go. Bulleris for Langstrom. Down back to Hills. Langstrom with Jaber all over her. Langstrom good to hold on. Bulleris in front to Hills. Her shot goes past Boat The crease, Priest now with it. Priest fed across. Jaber reading that one, and she takes it back up the floor. Jaber trying to find a step, though, killing time. It's still Ryan Jaber. The handoff goes off for a swap. Bowler-Reese. Bowler-Reese, quick whipping shot. Danny Logan. And with it is Hobbins. Gets held out. Erickson. Erickson down under. It's Bowler-Reese to pick off. Bowler-Reese pass out. Brennan Job. Now Avery Belarsic. Belarsic waits up. Coming off the bench, Blanchette. Blanchette sticked up by Crake. That's Belarsic. Belarsic to Blanchette. Ripping one off the shoulder. So from Bowler-Reese up to Priest. Priest waiting up, slows down the play. Fake pass to Hills, who has 4 goals in the game. Priest with an assist as well, getting on the score sheet, making tons of plays in the game here. Now a play made out to Langstrom. 5 seconds on the shot clock. 5-on-5 rolls on. Langstrom shoots and scores. So Beth Langstrom. 12-6 for the Drillers. And this is the second and last time these two teams will play, so it looks like will be a split. The next game for both of these squads. On the 20th, the Saints will play the Junior Drillers. And then for the Senior Drillers, they'll be playing the Cougars. With under 4 to go, down by 6. Jaber to Belarsic. Heavy shot pops up, pinballs to Maxwell. Maxwell to Hogan. Hogan still working her way up. Pirouettes. Hogan with some help. Hard is Van Beers to the back of the head of Crake. And she'll get a penalty. Hit the butt of her stick, and she shrugs that one off. So number 6, Van Beers, the box goal in the game. 3:32 to go. So Dunkley with the dish off to Belarsic. Coming off the bench, it's Blanchette. Wiping that one through is Job. And Langstrom with the most recent goal has her pocket picked by Blanchette. Up across, Belarsic, Jaber had one through, delayed penalty, Boat running off the floor, extra player out. Believe that's Crake. Yes, it is, number 5 into the middle, 6-on-5. They hold just 8 seconds in the shot clock. Oh, Job down low, bounces top of the crease, and they'll pick it up. Ryan Jaber, and another penalty to be dished out. It's the first time in the game that we've seen more than just a 5-on-4 power play. It'll be a 5-on-3 power play for up to 1 minute and 9 seconds. The Saints are down by 6. Hope Dunkley taking charge. Dunkley, Belarsic. Back and forth, playing a bit of tennis. each trying to look for a lane. And the lane to Jaber is good. She gets that off the wall. Now out in front. Kolbick. But Maxwell is good on that one. 2:15 to go. 13 from behind her own cage. Priest all the way up for Goaler. Rag time now, but Balaam skips up the floor. Top of the zone, quick pass. Kolbick shoots and finds the back of the net for the 7th marker for the Saints this game. So that was on the 5-on-3, so they will have a minute and 16 seconds still. 5-on-4, player up. 1:57 to go, 5 goals. So I'm not sure the approach they might have here, if they'll try and storm and rally back. Perhaps pulling Boat for an abbreviated 6-on-4. Definitely is a risky play. And Craig has a lane, 2-on-1. Craig takes a shot down low. Still in the crease, she has to wait for it. Patiently gets it. Back over to Dunkley. Dunkley trying to pick her corner. Belarsic is there. About a minute and a half to go. Belarsic turning away from the pressure from Ryan Jaber. Dunkley there. Now Lila Jaber to retrieve for the Saints. Dunkley with 6 to go. Belarsic. Hard shot, but nowhere near the net as it comes all the way back. 1:12 to go, and it looks like you can cement the win in the column for the Drillers. So after this, they will be 3-4 on the season after 7 games. Well, the Saints will be tied for 4th with the Titans. Actually, still 2 points ahead, but will take the loss to go 7-6 on the season. So with it is Van Beers. Serve that penalty. 5-on-5 continuing. Bolaris from the box as well. Shot clock expired. The time's still going. So no whistle telling the play to start up. Dunkley from the crest. Step to Ryan Jaber, and she'll just rag the final 5 seconds in the game to take it along the boards. And it will be run down at the end of the game. So 12-7 is the end of the story. Here the Drillers over the Saints. Very different from the first matchup. 12-4 was how the Drillers were defeated in that first contest. And I'll mention once again the next games for these two teams. On the 21st, the Drillers will take on the Cougars, while the Saints will take on the Drillers on the Friday, June 20th. And we have more action coming up here from Bill Hunter Arena. It will be the Junior B Warriors to play host to the CROW after we take a brief timeout. But I'm Zachary Kubish. Thank you so much for tuning into the game here today. And take care. Happy Father's Day.